That one of the fans asked yesterday in Instagram. He asked why recording the DVD in Buenos Aires, and I was going to ask you, but you already replied the question. So, yeah.
In some way, because I meant first of all me and my personal performance that night as a bass guitarist. But on the other hand, you're right. Playing in Buenos Aires 2 years ago was a wonderful experience. and how well the crowd accepted us. It was definitely overwhelming, and and I have to admit that it is not only Argentina and Buenos Aires. The whole thing in Latin America is like you probably cannot find a better place to record the DVD. It can be a Buenos Aires or Santiago or São Paulo in Brazil or Mexico City. Mexico City. All these places are wonderful to play and wonderful to film a DVD because crowds are, man, it's something. You need to experience this because it is impossible to explain this in words.
Yeah, that's great. So, Fede Gabriel from Argentina, he actually asked why the DVD was going to be recorded in Argentina, and that's your answer, of course. So, tell me, Eugene, how's everything going? You're in LA, right? Because of the coronavirus.
Yeah, I am in Los Angeles, kind of shut down here. Yeah, there are no planes to Ukraine. I cannot fly out of here. Planning to fly back to Ukraine, let's say in the second part of the summer. Mm-hmm. By that time, things should calm down. Judging by the tendency, the tendency says that things are coming down and the whole lockdown thing, quarantine is getting lower and easier everywhere. So I assume by the end of July, I will be able to fly back to Europe. Yeah, but I'm really enjoying time here. The weather is nice outside.
LA weather.
LA weather. This is the first time over 7 years or 8 years when I kind of have a lot of free time. I'm at the loose end, and that is why we all are band members, and this is a perfect opportunity to make tons of content we never had time to make, like playthrough videos, doing these live streams, and everything. So I have always said that every situation has pros and cons, pluses and minuses, and positive, negative aspects. And this situation, which is of course negative in its nature, has a lot of positive consequences. Like I am now having a lot of free time. I cannot do a lot of. I can do a lot of things which I couldn't do in the past.
Yeah,
and it's cool.
So I'm gonna translate a little bit what you just said for the people that they doesn't speak English. Cheers! I have my coffee here, of course. Bueno, muchachos, antes que nada, gracias a todos por estar acá presentes. Básicamente, bueno, arrancó el chat diciendo que preguntando sobre el video de la intro, preguntándome en dónde era. Le dije que en Argentina y me dijo que, bueno, es básicamente un lugar impresionante, que fue uno de sus mejores shows, donde tocó muy bien y que el público es súper efusivo. Y luego le pregunté sobre, bueno, si estaba en Los Ángeles, me dijo que sí, que el clima está muy lindo, que planea volverse para julio-agosto aproximadamente a Ucrania porque no hay vuelos y la tendencia está marcando que, bueno, va para ese entonces tal vez pueda volverse para Ucrania. So Eugene, you just got married, right?
That's true. Actually, a month ago.
There you go. Congrats.
My first anniversary.
First month anniversary.
Yeah.
So she's from there, right?
Anna is from Russia originally.
Okay.
Yeah, but she's settled down here now. She's living. Yeah, she's been here for a couple of years now. Yeah.
Ah, nice. Congrats, man. That's love is in the
Thanks,
air.
Man. Exactly. A lot of love is in the air.
So let's go through some questions that I have here from fans. What's the album, and this is from Catherine from Uruguay actually, what's the album that changed your life or your perspective of life?
It's a very difficult question because I cannot think it is possible to choose one album. Definitely music throughout my life has changed my perception of life, my mindset. Yeah, but one album.
Well, maybe some albums, like a couple albums that you think.
Couple of albums, yeah, it's easier. Yeah, then I will go first of all to my teens. Let's say I was even before teens, like I was 12, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I was 12 when I first heard Nevermind by Nirvana, and it definitely changed everything for me that time. Just this is what I really needed that time as a really young person and growing in the surrounding I was living in. That sort of music definitely helped me to go through everything, through all the adversity, through all the bullshit which was around, and that was quite a lot because I and all my friends, I think we all were, most of us were outsiders and losers, and the insecurity and the confidence we all experienced being 12, 13, 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we all shared, and music like Nirvana and grunge in general
Mm-hmm.
helped a lot and definitely changed how I saw the world around me and helped me to go through.
Okay.
Yeah, and as for the later periods, yeah, later time, yeah, let's say, yeah, everybody knows I kept saying that one of my favorite bands is Opeth, and I believe I was around 10th year in my school. And I first heard Opeth, and it was Blackwater Park. And just a few days ago, I was just driving the car, and all of a sudden, Blackwater Park song popped up on the playlist, and I felt huge feeling, just overwhelming feeling of nostalgia, because I remembered myself being 16 years old, just sitting in my bedroom, listening to that music in the earphones and preparing for the university, the entry exams to the university. That was quite a difficult time because in a few months I was about to enter the university, pass the exams, take the exams, and that music also helped me a lot and influenced me as a personality. Definitely changed some features of my personality in some way, and is still with me. This is along with Nirvana and grunge earlier times.
Mm-hmm.
That period of time and those musical tastes I had in being 16 years old are still with me. I still listen to that music, and it still helps me. Yeah. So, and as for later on, I think it was 2009, 8. I was deeply into Mudvayne. Yeah, 2007, 8, 9. Yeah, and I was deeply into Mudvayne, and it definitely had another impact on me. And the album is, of course, LD50, magnificent album, and definitely a standout at the whole new metal scene, which I personally consider Mudvayne not to be new metal. It's something different, something definitely bigger. And another thing which drew me further as a musician by that time, because I was already playing the bass, and as a personality too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so basically, let me translate. Obviously, I'm not going to translate all of that. Uh, but, entonces, básicamente, la pregunta que era de Catherine de Uruguay, Eugene dice, bueno, que es imposible elegir una canción o disco, pero que más que nada lo que es el grunge, lo que vendría a ser la parte, bueno, Nirvana y toda esa parte del grunge, y más adelante, más tirando a fines de los 2000, todo lo que es Mudvayne y ese tipo de bandas que él no considera tanto nu metal, pero por esa onda, digamos. Okay, so another question. This is from Matias from Argentina. Tough question, this one, huh? Favorite?
I'm ready for tough questions.
What's your favorite riff?
riff, it depends on whether it is our riffs, Jinjer riffs, my riffs, which I composed, or just somebody else's riffs, other bands. And if we're talking about somebody else's riffs, maybe one of the first things which come into my mind, it can be Opeth, Masters Apprentices.
Okay.
The intro riff, yeah, which is awesome, very heavy, very Morbid Angel style, and I really love playing it. Sometimes I play it at the sound checks, yeah, so people could hear me playing it.
Jan, 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 yes,
yeah,
of course.
exactly, yeah, exactly. Cool. Yeah, as for our riffs, hard to say. Hard to say, but maybe something from the latest album. I would say Noah, but I just made this playthrough video and spent quite a time doing it, and it's a bit too much of Noah in my mind. Yeah, I'm a bit tired of it. Yeah, but let's say Retrospection. Retrospection is one of my favorite songs by Jinjer so far, and the intro riff and also, if I can say, chorus riff, yeah, these are awesome riffs written by Vlad. And actually, Retrospection is having a sort of anniversary. It just has reached 600,000 views, and Vlad is about to release a drum playthrough for it.
Yeah, I saw it. So he posted.
Go and check it. Yeah, I've already seen it, obviously, and it's awesome. Yeah,
sí, todos por favor miren a Vlad, que va a hacer un playthrough de batería de la canción Retrospective. Okay?
Yeah, and as for, I think that's enough. Yeah, that's quite enough. I can enlist riffs and pieces of music which I love playing and enjoy playing endlessly, because there are tons of them. Some riffs by Pantera, some riffs by the other Death, the other bands. So there are tons of good riffs.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I'm gonna translate a little bit. Básicamente que bueno, hay un montón de riffs que le gustan. Nombró, por ejemplo, Masters Apprentice, yes, Masters Apprentice of the Opeth. Bueno, mencionó recién de la canción de ellos, le gusta Noah, le gusta mucho, no me acuerdo cuál otra fue la que dijo, y bueno, Retrospection, y que la Retrospection la hizo Vlad, el baterista, y que el baterista va a hacer un playthrough de esa canción mañana, aparentemente creo que mañana dijo, el 25, perdón. So, Eugene, let's go with some sections that I have here. Let me ask about, let's talk a little bit about because one thing I've noticed when we did the tour in 2018 is that some fans, they have Jinjer tattoos. Okay, and I was like,
yeah, quite a lot of them.
That's crazy. So, what do you think about that?
I don't mind that at all. It's cool. It's great to see that there are so many people around who appreciate our music that much, and for whom our music means that much, and that much that they are even ready to leave it on themselves, on their skin, for the entire life. And it is definitely very flattering, because it means that for these people, Jinjer will remain a part of their life forever.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I want to say thank you to everyone who has it on their skin. I even have it myself.
There you go.
Yeah, I've got here a Jinjer logo. So I am one of the Jinjer tattoo army. So we are a big family. You're not alone.
I have some examples here that from pictures that I took while touring in 2018. I'm gonna show and share it with everybody.
go for this.
So that's one of them. Do you see it?
I see it.
And then the other one, this one.
Yeah, it's me. Me taking a photo with somebody's tattoo.
Exactly. So yeah, I that's one thing that I noticed when we were touring in 2018, and I think it's great. I think it's great.
It is really great, and I can just to add a little bit on it that especially it is great when people put some pieces of lyrics on their skin, tattooed, inked, because it means that our lyrics mean something for them, and this is what we always to do lyrically, write
send a message
which has a message,
exactly.
Strong message, which has an impact on somebody's lives and may help people with something,
exactly.
May help them to go through their just, let's say, difficult times and things like that. It really shows that what we are doing has a value.
Yeah, so I'm gonna translate it. So, lo que está diciendo con respecto a los tatuajes, le pregunté sobre qué pensaba sobre los tatuajes, los fans que tienen tatuajes, sobre The Jinjer. Para él es un honor. Mostré 2 ejemplos ahí de cuando hicimos la gira en 2018. Y otra cosa que menciona es que para él tiene como un valor agregado cuando los fans se tatúan parte de la letra de las canciones, porque significa que el mensaje, que como que les gusta el mensaje y les es algo positivo. Así que para los fans, para cuando hagamos la gira en diciembre, los fans que quieran por ahí impactarlo a Eugene, se tatúan la letra de la canción, de alguna canción que les guste. So coming back about the tattoo stuff, you've made a tattoo here in Uruguay, right?
Right. Yeah, you can see it right here.
There you go. I have a picture here.
Yeah, show it to everyone.
I'm gonna show it to everybody.
If somebody hasn't seen it yet, they need to.
So here's the picture. And that was done by Juancho Arostegui from Familia Unida Tattoo. Así que gracias Juancho Arostegui de Familia Unida Tattoo. And also I have a little surprise here for you, Eugene. My friend Paola found this and sent it to me, so you can look at it. Look.
I cannot wait. Whoa! Great time. Really great time. I to be honest, I miss that tour a lot. And it's very sad that we couldn't reach Montevideo, being in Latin America this time in March.
Yeah,
I was really looking forward to coming back to Uruguay and having one more tattoo made.
We're gonna do it. I'm gonna show the poster of the flyer of that tour that we did in 2018. So this is the poster. We did Monterrey, Durango, León, Mexico City, Guadalajara, Bogotá, Cali, Lima, Santiago, Córdoba, Bahía Blanca, Buenos Aires, Montevideo, Porto Alegre, Limeira en Brazil, en Sao Paulo. Sorry. Yeah, it was great tour. It was great tour. We had a lot of fun. I remember also another funny thing, but we're gonna go over that later, about that tour, what happened in that tour.
There were tons of funny things.
Yes, totally. But let's go with some more questions from the fans. They ask on Instagram. So Joao Victor from Brazil, he's asking what's in Portuguese, so I'm translating. What's your favorite band?
I just said it's Opeth and a number of other bands.
Okay.
There are quite a lot of good bands I listen to.
Okay.
So, and it's not hard to find which ones, because I keep saying about this. I do not keep this in secret at all.
And so Opeth, obviously we just talked about Uruguay. I'm from Uruguay. Martin Mendez, what do you think?
Actually, not only Martin Mendez, but Martin Lopez too.
Yeah. Yes.
Martin Mendez is a bass guitarist. He's a wonderful musician. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and in some way, I kind of grew as a bass guitarist, as a musician on his bass lines because I played a lot of Opus songs. Basically, I played the entire Damnation.
Okay.
All songs from Damnation, yeah, we performed with one of my early bands.
Mm-hmm.
Even played them live. Yeah, and I played Deliverance, Masters Apprentices, The Moor, Drapery Falls, and just pieces of other songs, just some riffs. And he's really cool, and it's great to see how much he evolved since early Opus years to the moment now. It's great that he has his own style.
Mm-hmm.
I always appreciated him for not overplaying, for just being in his own range, but at the same time he managed to stand out.
Yeah.
In the band, and it's cool. It's cool that people like him, who managed to be not, who do not go Les Claypool style, being all over the place.
Yeah.
Who just stand aside, but at the same time you can always hear him. You can always hear bass. You can always say that there are a lot of little intriguing details in his playing.
Mm-hmm.
And last year, a year ago actually, it was my first time seeing Opus. After all these years being a fan, I finally saw them live. Yeah, standing on the side of the stage at Leyendas del Rock in Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, just 10 meters away from Martin, from his cabinet, and hearing everything he plays, every single note. And I was absolutely blown away because that guy, during the entire show, and I know the songs very well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I heard him making maybe one mistake.
Yeah, it's
just
crazy.
one little mistake, and everything else was on point. Everything else was played very well. And this is where I want to be one day, because this is definitely good motivation. This is a good inspiration for me as a musician, just to see how well people can play and just to be there. I want to be there one day.
And,
with tons of practice.
Yeah, and you met him personally?
I once had a photo taken with him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I never had a chance to talk, and I always felt too humble just to show up and start talking to people like that, because it's just he's good, a very good and a very big inspiration for me, as the whole band is. And I just, every time we played the same festival, so just were around, I couldn't just come and start talking as if I don't know, a fellow. I'm not.
Yeah.
That's why I never bothered.
Yeah.
None of them.
Yeah, when I met him just for a couple minutes, I remember he was very laid back and very chill and very low profile. Very low profile. But yeah, so interesting. So Martin Mendez, good job.
Really good job, yeah.
So more questions. Very interesting question from Álvaro from Guatemala. He's saying, where do you prefer to play? Like, what kind of stages do you prefer to play, in festivals or club venues?
I prefer both. Both are good in their own way, because if you play a club show, most probably this is your show. At the time being, if we play club shows, we are headliners, and it means that this is our stage. So we have all space, we have everything, yeah, and it definitely helps to play a better show. It helps to make a show, actually, not just play. And it's good to see all these thousands of people who now come to see us, because in some places we definitely kind of pull 1,000, 2,000 people, and it's great to see all these people singing along.
Totally.
Like this last tour, one of the last tours we made was in Australia, and it was cool to see in Melbourne and in Sydney 1,000 people singing along. No one, they knew all the lyrics, even from the latest album. And before that, I only saw that in Latin America, but now I know that it's not only happening in Latin America, but Australians are
Also Australia.
same cool. Yeah, maybe it's because both Latin Americans and Australians are southern people.
Yep.
It's a matter of south.
It's a better, yes. Okay.
Yeah, and festivals are great in their own way. Bigger stages. There is a lot of stress. There is much more stress than playing a headline show in a club, because you are tight with time. You need to follow the schedule. You are not given as much time as you need, and you need to just comply with this. You need to fit the schedule, and it's something very often. Most of the times, it's very difficult. It's just extremely difficult, and that's why it's a lot of stress. But at the same time, it is a good challenge. Challenges make you grow.
Okay, so basically, regarding you like all of them. If it's festival or club shows, it's fine. It's both of them. You like them, but festivals are a little bit more stressful because of mainly because of the schedule, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna post here a couple pictures. For me, in my opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong, these were the best shows in the tour, audience-wise. One of them was in Chile, and the other one was in Buenos Aires. What do you think about those? Hello?
Yeah. I'm just waiting.
Oh,
are you showing the picture or what? Or just you want me to comment on this?
No, if you can make a comment about that while I look for the pictures.
Yeah, Chile and Santiago de Chile, yeah, and Buenos Aires.
Correct.
Absolutely extraordinary places, and playing in Chile, it was like playing in a shower, because the venue was very, very, very sweaty. Yeah, and it was extremely hot, extremely wet. At some point, I was feeling like I was standing in the middle of the shower. And the crowd, that's probably the only time in my entire life as a musician when the crowd was louder than the band on stage. They were singing, all 1,600 people there were singing along, not only lyrics, but riffs. They were following the music. And at some points, I'm playing with in ears on stage, and at some point I couldn't hear what I was playing because they were too loud. Yeah, and Buenos Aires, a better venue, a bit better stage, better sound, but same cool crowd. Not as many people. If I'm not mistaken, there were like 900 or 1,000 people there, and a great show, great night. Like I told you, one of the best shows I played myself as a bass guitarist. Yeah, so I simply cannot wait to come back to these places. Yeah, and now seeing these pictures, it really, makes me recollect.
That's a picture in Chile. Yeah, that's a picture in Chile. And I don't have the Buenos Aires here with me, but yeah, it was crazy. It was super crazy.
I remember one very funny thing connected with the show in Buenos Aires. That was one of the few times when we asked Sasha, Alex, our sound engineer, to write set lists. The sheet of paper with songs in the order we play them. And imagine this: I go on stage. I'm about to start playing the show, and I realize that they're all wrong.
No.
Sasha wrote down songs in their own order.
No.
And we all had wrong set lists on stage. Fortunately, we play along the metronome, and Vlad has everything in his app. Just as we play, he cannot change it. Nobody can change it. Yeah, this is why we do not change our set list during the tour mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have some slight changes, but mostly we play one and the same set during the tour.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and we just followed Vlad. Yeah, he gave us instructions which song is next. Yeah, and fortunately we remembered the set list more or less. But that was quite confusing. Imagine this: it's a lot of stress. I'm about to start playing one of the best shows in my life, and I just have a wrong set list.
Maybe that's why you played so well.
Maybe. Who knows? Yeah, but I was mad at Sasha that evening.
I think I got here the one from Argentina. Let me see if I have it here with me. Yeah, that's the one. Let's see if we can make the people see it. It's one of the pictures that I have. There we go. It was great. It was great. It was a great
times,
show.
Bro.
Totally.
Great times.
Yeah, totally. So regarding that tour, we also have some stuff here. I have here with me. Let's talk a little bit about. Tell me about the gifts, because I've noticed also in the tour that fans, they give you a bunch of gifts. I mean, like you guys should take one more bag each just for gifts, right?
Not exactly. Tatiana has to take one more bag.
One or two.
We are not giving that much. We're not giving that much, and it's not bad. To tell you the truth, yeah, because it is very, very pleasant to receive so many gifts, and definitely it is pleasant for Tatiana to receive that many gifts. But sometimes there are too much. Yeah. There are just too many of them.
I remember that.
Yeah, every time actually, it is now like a rule. Yeah, it happens everywhere, not only in Latin America, but Tatiana comes back with one extra bag from the tour.
So regarding, sorry.
But I love it. I love it anyway. I love receiving gifts, and I love making gifts to fans too.
Of course, I have some pictures here and some moments of the tour. Just a couple of them. One of them, I'm gonna show it. So here we have my friend Paola where she cooked this chocolate thing. Remember? I don't know if you remember it. We had them in the tour bus.
Yeah, I remember.
It was very, very good. Gracias, Paola.
Gracias.
And then also this one, I think it was like a highlight gift. This for Roman.
Yeah, it is a highlight gift for Roman. He plays these pickups. He has them on one of his guitars, and he really loves them. This is definitely one of the. And I'm just repeating what Roman said, because I'm not good at guitars, and I'm not good at electric guitars. I mean, I never played the electric guitar, and I don't know anything about electric guitar pickups. But he says that these are one of the best he ever played.
Wow.
And it means a lot.
That's crazy. And and this was done by a guy named Roman Matías Suárez from MSP. Así que muchas gracias, Matías Suárez, por el regalo, que la verdad que es increíble. Y como dice Eugene, y concuerdo porque también me lo dijo a mí Roman, es de los mejores micrófonos que ha utilizado. Así que muchas gracias, Matías Suárez, Porto de MSP. And the last thing, it's in the meet and greet in Colombia. I have a short video here for you to remember it. Let's see.
String musical instrument. Yeah, and she has it at home.
Yeah, I remember she took it. Yeah. It was like we had to find a case for it because she took it home. Yeah, it's like a mixture of guitar with ukulele, right?
So I don't think it has any connection with ukulele.
No.
It's something else.
Mhm.
Yeah, but she plays it. She plays it.
Yeah, that was very, very nice. And now that we mentioned the tour bus, I'm gonna share some pictures and some situations. And I have Juanjo with me. Juanjo, come over, because Juanjo is here with me.
Juanjo, glad to see you a lot, and
Come
it's
here.
really cool that you're feeling all right.
We have Juanjo here.
You've grown the beard.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah. I'm older now.
He's older now.
I'm older than I used to be.
You look younger, bro.
Yeah,
because you are
good.
not on a tour.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not killing you.
But Ian is killing me, so it's basically the same.
He can.
Nice to see you, Eugene. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
So regarding the tour bus, I have some pictures here to share. That selfie. You remember that, Eugene?
Of course, I remember that, and we often remember the tour bus we had in Latin America because it's something really cool. We don't have such things in Europe or in America. It's smaller and it's made by those two guys who are drivers, and it's so cozy. It's so warm. It has the vibe, its own atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
And to tell you the truth, once again, I would love to tour that bus again.
Okay, maybe we can organize that to do one of the trips to Cordoba. Maybe we do it with this small tour bus. I remember also,
it's nice.
And I'm gonna do that. Yes, I will talk with the guy. And I remember also that we were actually in the middle of nowhere, and I took a picture of the like extremely dark road. And obviously I have another picture talking about Juanjo, because Juanjo was very excited with the tour, and he was like, "Fuck, we are in the middle of nowhere." So he just we went down to have a cigarette, and Juanjo decided to just lay down in the middle of the road. There we go. That's Juanjo in the middle of the road.
He's definitely enjoying the time.
Yes.
Like we all did.
Yes. Yeah, so it was super fun. I remember the tour bus was, as you said, very cozy because it was small and we were all like together. I remember sleeping in the back of the bus and at the very end of the bus, and I was like floating sometimes, and I'm like 105 kilograms, and I was like floating. It was crazy, but I really enjoyed that.
Bumps, road bumps make you fly.
Yes.
Yeah. It's common with most of the tour buses everywhere. So once it goes on the bump, you just jump over your pad.
Yeah.
So a few times in the United States, I hit the ceiling of my bunk with my forehead.
Oof.
Imagine this, yeah, because roads are not as good in the U.S. as in Europe. There are states with very shitty roads, and bumps almost killed me there.
Yeah, it was and this one particularly, as it's very small, the bumps you really feel them. I won't forget that. And also regarding the tour, remember the barbecue we did here. I have some pictures to share with you and with the audience. It was. Say it. So what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say?
Yeah. I almost do not remember that part.
It was fun though. So we have here my buddy Emiliano preparing the barbecue before we arrived. Big table, was very nice. The selfie with everybody. And actually, the guys, you see the guy with the with the hat, and the one next to him, it's those were the drivers of the mini tour bus.
Yeah, I remember.
And the surprise I have here that nobody saw actually, it's very, very short video of our how can I say it? ¿Cómo se dice zapada?
Party.
Zapada, cuando toca, like jamming, like the jam with a very short video. Let's see it. It's just 4 seconds. There you go. That's it. That's all I'm gonna show. Nothing else. That was Tatiana singing. I think it was Adele. It was
Maybe.
It was very fun. Very, very fun. Let's go with more questions for the from the fans. Are you ready?
Yeah, go on.
There you go. So, well, this is a tricky one from Javier Cancino from Chile, asking which one is the best audience in Latin America?
I cannot separate. I cannot choose one. The people are quite similar everywhere in Latin America. And of course, you maybe see difference between every country, but for us foreigners coming from the other side of the world, it's very different to differentiate, because most of you speak the same language, and language predetermines culture and mentality, and that's why I cannot pick one. People are crazy and cool everywhere in Latin America.
Okay, so every country pretty much. Ok, así que Javier Cancino no puede elegir un país porque son todos muy muy buenos, así que esa es un poco la respuesta de Eugene. I'm going to translate a little bit what we talked in the last minutes. Estuvimos hablando un poquito del turbas que tuvimos en la gira, que era un turbas bien chico, y nada, le encantaba porque era como más, no sé, como más cálido, digamos, pues estamos todos bastante juntos. Y bueno, vino Juanjo, que está acá conmigo, que es el tour manager, y estuvimos hablando un poco de eso, un poco del asado que hicimos en Uruguay, y un videito de Tatiana en el asado que estuvo muy divertido, como una especie de zapada de un jam que hicimos en el asado. What else? Oh, this is an interesting question we have here from Victor from Argentina. Mm-hmm. He's asking.
It seems to me I know which Victor is that.
No, you know a Victor in Argentina?
Yeah, I know one.
Oh, maybe. Okay. He's asking, do you prefer when another band makes a cover from Jinjer? Do you prefer them to when they do it exactly the same, or when they change things a little bit to sound like themselves?
Of course, I love it when people change a song in their own way and make it in their own style, genre, or just maybe if it is the same genre, but just in their own way. This is the idea of a cover, not just copying and playing somebody's song, which is of course good too. For younger musicians, I would definitely suggest and advise doing this, just playing it the way somebody else has composed it, because it makes, before you, let's say, create your own style, it's better to learn on somebody else's experience. But generally, I would say that definitely I prefer much more when bands cover, first of all, when bands cover our songs and make it like a band cover and do this in their own style. Sometimes people fail to do it well, but it's good trying. Anyway, it's good trying. And it in any way, even if it is not that good, people like that deserve much more respect than those who just play
the same
notes.
Yeah.
Play same.
Yeah. Okay. Básicamente la pregunta que le hice fue de Víctor de Argentina, era si prefería, cuando las bandas hacían covers de Jinjer, si preferían que fueran que sonaran exactamente igual, o que fueran versionadas. Él dice que prefiere, por supuesto, versionadas, que a veces le sale bien, a veces no tanto, pero que prefiere toda la vida mucho más las versionadas, más que los covers. Okay, then
For example,
uh-huh.
just to add a little bit, a week ago there is a guy from Russia who made a cover for Pisces, and probably this is one of the best covers ever made.
Mm-hmm.
He played all instruments himself. It is instrumental cover, and this is definitely a different view on the song completely. And this is which deserves a lot of respect and attention. So everyone go on YouTube and search for this. It's an instrumental cover for Pisces, made by Eugene de Jinjer, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. There you go. So there's another question from Lo Ferreira from Brazil.
Well, I know all these people. They keep commenting all my posts on Instagram. So great to see it. Great to see, guys. Yeah. You're everywhere. And thanks for asking questions.
So basically, Lo, actually, what is the funny fact is that she made a question, but also her band is the one that won the raffle for you to watch their music video and make some comments about it. So the question.
This is her singing in Quantum, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Her question is, how does it feel to know that your band influences many other bands around the world?
It's awesome. It's really awesome. Yeah, and it's very inspiring. It's great to see that some people are influenced by us in the musical way, because I do believe I don't consider myself to be a great musician, but I cannot but admit the fact that we definitely as a band managed to bring something new to the metal genre and managed to stand out on the whole scene worldwide and managed to make something unique.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's great that we are influencing the future generations of metalheads as musicians. Also, it's great to see that we are influencing people just as an example to follow, because we come from not the best place to be a musician. Yeah, do you know many bands coming from Ukraine playing metal? No, I believe you don't know any. Yeah, there are bands who are following us now. I mean, who are following our footsteps, but in some way we are pioneers of the Ukrainian metal scene, and it's cool that we are showing the example to follow. We are motivating people from all over the world, from places which are not really common to be a place a worldwide band may come. Yeah, and we make people understand that everything is possible. It is also cool. It is also great to see that we are helping people this way. Yeah, and this is definitely which brings some value and some reason in my life personally.
Yeah, totally.
So it's cool.
Yeah. I'm not going to translate that because Lo doesn't speak Spanish, so maybe some other people they do, but the question was from Lo Ferreira. But then I will make a question. I think you're giving me like a hook here to ask you. So what would you suggest bands, like you come from Ukraine, Jinjer is from Ukraine, of course, and in Latin America, we can somehow compare the musical scene with Ukraine in that sense, because you don't see many bands from Latin America as well as you don't see any bands from Ukraine, you know? So what would you suggest bands from, for example, from Latin America to reach that goal, like Jinjer did?
You are right saying that we are kind of in the same shoes, actually. And it is not only because, just to start, let me give a bit of my thoughts if we start talking about that. First of all, it is not only about the place we come, that in the way that not many bands come from Ukraine or Latin America and manage to break through to the worldwide scene.
Mm-hmm.
It is also true that we come from quite poor countries, quite poor regions, and we don't have as much money as the Germans have, for example, or the Americans have. because they can pay for a lot of things which we, for example, ourselves had to get by means of our efforts, time, blood, sweat, and determinedness, I would say. Yeah, and people from richer countries, from Western world, if I can say so, may just buy these things or some achievements or exposure or promotion. And it's not bad. I'm not saying this is bad. This is good because it helps to save time. And this is the problem why many good bands from Ukraine, or I'm sure from Latin America, just cannot break through because they run out of time and energy. They are simply tired of fighting the wall and not breaking anywhere, not breaking through this wall. And first of all, I will advise, my advice will be patient. Be patient. Prepare for a long run. It's a long run. It's not a sprint. Be prepared for failures. Be prepared for people not pay attention at you. Be prepared to be compared to the others. Be prepared to hear things like, this band is nothing special. They are good, but nothing special. They are good, but they do not stand out. There are tons of bands like that. Even though you know that it is not true, people will keep saying this, no matter what, because people are stupid.
Yeah.
This is the matter of fact. There will be a bunch of assholes who will say these things to you, who will comment like that on social media. Just do your thing, no matter what. Once you decide to become a well-known band and become a band, just because it's not a matter of being famous or making money by music. It's a matter of making music. This is the reason why we're all doing this, because we love it.
Yeah.
And everything else is just side effect.
Yeah.
Fame is side effect of being a good musician, and that's it. Yeah, but these things are closely connected anyway. Yeah, but what I'm driving at, just be prepared for this. Be prepared to be a long runner. Secondly, once you decide to do so, just do so, and be ready to take risks. I kept saying this in many interviews that in the early years in 2013, being people in our mid-20s, we didn't have money. We didn't have a pillow to fall back on in case something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just dove into the abyss.
Yeah, like determination, right? You were like, okay.
Yeah. Let's do this thing, no matter what. And be prepared for such things. Be prepared to take risks. Be prepared to go to the other part of the world, playing and making no money, and maybe coming back with zero in your pocket.
Totally.
It may happen, but this is what you have to do in order to achieve something. In order to, first of all, in my opinion, why I'm doing this is that it's the best matter of success, and the best indication of success for me is that I'm making something which helps the other people. I cannot be a happier person when I read somebody texting me that this song or that album or our music in general helped to go through very difficult period of times for them. Yeah, and this is the best thing a musician or any artist may know.
Yeah.
This is why we do arts. This is why we do these things. Yeah, and on top of everything, just do not stop and always try to become better and better and better.
Yeah.
Oh, I keep saying to myself that I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I keep going further and further and further. And I'm not good enough actually. Yeah, and I keep practicing. I keep composing. Just before talking to you, I was sitting and composing. Something new for us. And it's good that I like it, because most of the times I don't.
You don't.
These are some quite obvious things I'm talking about. This is nothing new. I'm definitely not making a big revelation or big discovery saying these things. And I think most of the people may come to this conclusion themselves without even somebody like me saying this.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I, for example, some bands, many bands, they approach me and they ask me like to give suggestions and stuff like that. Like a couple years ago, I did a workshop here in Uruguay and one in Bahía Blanca in Argentina. And one thing that got my attention is that many people, I'm not quite sure if they know what they want. It's like okay, I want to have a band, I want to succeed, but I don't have time. And why if you want it, like, put your time in that, put your effort into that, put your determination in that. Many of us, including myself, because I tour and stuff like that, and I don't have a family, I'm single, I don't have kids, because I put my determination and my will in one thing, and sometimes it's like I'm not sure if they know what they want, like musicians and bands, like new bands or bands from Latin America, like I'm not sure if they know what they want and where to put their determination, and where to put their focus. So it's very interesting what you're saying. I agree with you with the fact of the determination, definitely.
You took me to another very good idea. Just a bit of revelation for me myself. It is absolutely right. Most of the people do not know what they want, and this makes them very unhappy. It's not only about music, it's just in general.
In life.
It's happening everywhere, to everyone around me. Most 99% of people around me don't fucking have any idea of what they actually want in their life.
I can't remember the name, but I remember there was an Asian philosopher that said that in life we only need one thing, and that thing is having an objective. Because once you have that objective, you just go for it. Doesn't matter how, you just focus on that. But if you don't have an objective, damn, that's a tough one, definitely.
Exactly.
But okay, enough philosophy. We can have that conversation. Let's calm down. We can have that conversation in another moment. But returning to our friend Lo Ferreira. I'm gonna put a video here of the raffle that I made, so everybody sees that this was legal. And after that, I'm gonna put the music video for you and the audience to watch it. ¿Ok?
Okay.
Bueno, se viene el sorteo para ver cuál va a ser la banda que va a estar mirando en vivo Eugene de Jinjer. Antes que nada, gracias a todos por participar. Realmente es muy copado que nos estén ayudando en la difusión, participando de estos sorteos. Así que súper agradecido. Ahora sí, vamos a ver quién ganó. En 3, 2, 1. Ganó Quantum. Okay, now the music video from Quantum. Okay, here we are. Eugene, what do you think about Quantum?
First of all, the band is great. I said this many times before. I don't really like female-fronted metal, and I don't consider this to be a genre. But most of the bands with girls on vocals, no, not a thing for me. But this one is an exception. I really see how much effort and how much energy the guys are putting into their music. And in total, I like it. Just a bit of criticism from my side. First of all, as for the video, I think this is a perfect, let's say, type of a video a young band may do at the beginning. Just them playing to present them to future fans and the fans they have already, like to show what they are, how more or less they will look on stage and how they will deliver on stage. And it is very energetic and very charismatic. Especially the vocalist, she is really cool, very emotional. As for the negative sides, is that this is what the drummer definitely lacks. First of all, it is not synchronized with music, and I can clearly see that his playing is not what I hear. And this is bad because I think that drummers are what people pay attention at most after vocalists. So first of all, it's a vocalist, obviously, then it's a drummer, because this is cool to watch. It's not like me playing my bass, even if I headbang hard. It's boring. It's not like a guitarist playing. Even if it is a tremendous solo, it is fucking boring. But drummers just smashing everything around.
It's
and
more physical.
Like Vlad does with all his cymbals low, so that you can see him well. It's cool to watch, and this is what this video lacks. The drummer here is a weak point.
Okay.
Unfortunately, but as for the drummer, the video is great. I like it. Music-wise, I like the music. It is not trivial. It is not what bands usually make. It is something original. I would say something original in its own way. I enjoyed it musically, but the sound quality is very poor. First of all, because as far as I understand, this is not real drums. It is programmed and it is bad. Secondly, because the mixing is poor. But I understand that bands just cannot, especially young bands, and I'm sure Quantum, they just cannot
afford or
pay that much, afford it. Absolutely, they cannot pay that much to have a proper mixing, proper recording. Yeah, but just it is the piece of advice, or based on my and Jinjer's experience. Just try to overstep. Just try to make something 10, 20, 15, 30% more than you can. Just overstep yourself.
yeah.
Make step over your boundaries in all the respects, money-wise, musically-wise, everything. Just move further and further and further. Yeah, and in terms of recording, just search for opportunities. You can always find somebody on the other side of the earth who can do the mixing remotely and give you a better quality for the same price.
Yeah. That's great advice for them. Yeah,
and this is it. But in general, the band is really cool. And I didn't know that Law is actually a musician.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I saw some covers and some songs by her in the suggestions.
Yeah, she sent me like 100 of those.
Yeah, but I never realized that she sings in a band, and the band is great. Just keep doing this. If you are now watching this, keep doing this. Do not stop.
Perfect. Thank you, Eugene, for that, and congrats to Quantum for this. I assume and I think many bands would love this opportunity for somebody like you giving a suggestion and giving your opinion of that. So I appreciate that, Eugene.
Always welcome.
Thank you. And moving forward on the interview, we're just about to finish that. We will talk a little bit. Well, the last picture I have, and it's very interesting a picture that we took in the 2018 tour in Brazil. It's a little surprise for you. I think you saw it already, but I think maybe be a surprise. Is this picture that we took in the last show with the guys?
Of course I remember it.
Yeah, it's great. It was great. The guys from Sepultura in Jinjer's show in Brazil in Manifesto. And we're gonna talk a little bit about what happened a little bit in the tour last time. We did Guatemala, we did El Salvador, we did Mexico, we did Monterrey, Guadalajara, and Mexico City. How was that experience?
It is something which I'll keep remember for the entire of my life, because that was a very, very stressful tour in the way that it was the tour when we all knew every single show may be the last one, because everything was crumbled down. That was the beginning of the pandemics, and I remember reading the news and getting to know the news that every time after our show, that country we played got locked down. We played in Guatemala, it got locked down. We played in Salvador, it got locked down. Yeah. And it was crazy. It was crazy to be this, on the edge. Yeah, to walk on the edge. It's something that you do not really experience every day. And at some point, we started feeling like we are on the breach of the end of the world, apocalypse.
Yeah.
Which is quite, on one hand, frightening. On the other hand, it brings colors to your life.
Yeah.
It just shows that you're alive.
Yeah.
After all,
more experiences.
So, yeah, and it's a great experience. I will always remember that. And it was great to see that people kept coming no matter what.
Yeah.
And you know what? I do not. No, that's wrong to say like that. I just wanted to say that it is cool to realize that we were doing this no matter what.
Yeah.
We all were doing this no matter what. Fans, us.
It was like we went for it.
yeah, let's just go for this. Let's just do this, no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a thing, definitely, also for me. Actually, the promoter from El Salvador that he came with us to Guatemala, he couldn't come back to El Salvador. He's still in Guatemala, and it was just one day. You know, he went out of his country for one day. He couldn't come back, and well, actually,
It's hit or miss.
Yeah.
It's hit or miss. Yeah, we all were in the same boat, and I am kind of in the same boat with him. Me and Tatiana, we cannot go back to Ukraine now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I perfectly understand him.
Yeah, and well, Juanjo, of course, he's here at home because I couldn't just leave him here in Mexico, of course. So same situation, very tough. But as you said, it was a great experience in that sense. I'm gonna show the poster of that tour here. No, well, it doesn't work. For some reason, I set it up correctly, but for some reason now it's not. Thank you for this program for this. Yeah, it was El Salvador, Guatemala, Monterrey, Guadalajara, Mexico City. We did it until there. What we didn't do was San Jose, Costa Rica, Bogotá, Colombia, Lima, Perú, Santiago, Chile, Buenos Aires, Argentina, Montevideo, Uruguay, Limeira, Brazil, y Sao Paulo, Brazil. And also we were gonna record a live DVD in Buenos Aires, which we couldn't do, but we will do in the next part.
We will, of course, do that.
Of course. And this is the new poster of the upcoming tour. Thank you for the program for working this time. That's Sao Paulo. We start the 5th. Sao Paulo, Brazil. Limeira, Brazil. Montevideo, Uruguay. Córdoba, Argentina. We are adding Córdoba. It wasn't there before. Buenos Aires, Argentina. Santiago, Chile. Lima, Perú. Bogotá, Colombia. San Jose, Costa Rica. And we are doing again Mexico City. And this time it's going to be a headliner show and not a festival. And we have our fingers crossed that it will go through, and please, and we hope that it will go through, and it will. Positive mind.
Hope so.
Yes.
Hope so.
I'm done with questions. I still need to think for more questions, but I won't. I'm gonna leave you relaxed a little bit. First, before the ending, I want to announce to everybody our next guest that is gonna be on Saturday. So I'm gonna say it in Spanish. Gracias a todos los que estuvieron acá presentes en la transmisión. Es el primer episodio. La idea es hacerlo una vez por semana. Y bueno, quería anunciarles el próximo invitado, que va a ser el sábado 30. Va a ser una hora más temprano. Es Cream de Septic Flesh, ex Decapitated, y bueno, también estuvo tocando con Devin Townsend. Este es el afiche, el flyer. Así que sábado 30 de mayo, ahí están los horarios. Y esperemos verlos ahí. Ahora hacerle una preguntita más a Eugene y después un video para cerrar la entrevista. So, our next guest is going to be Cream from Septic Flesh, Decapitated, and he played with Devin Townsend as well. Do you know Cream?
Well, I definitely heard him playing on records, and I don't know him personally, but I'm sure he's a cool guy. Maybe one day we'll have a chance to meet in person
of course.
Yeah, and talk and have fun.
Of course. So, Eugene, thank you very, very, very much for the interview. I had a great time actually, and your attitude and everything is great, and so I appreciate that. And I
appreciate for the chance to talk too. It was great to see you, Ian.
Thank you. And everybody, all the fans. We have a bunch of people. Álvaro Paz from Uruguay, from San Jose. We have Lo, again, thank you for watching. Diego Sola. Chris is asking about the US shows to be rescheduled.
Shows are being rescheduled, guys. I kept saying this in many streams before. All shows are rescheduled. We just don't know when, but they will happen.
They will happen. Of course. Then we have Maggie from Córdoba. Hola Maggie. A bunch of people. Chris Morris, Alan Wake, Natalia Hoyos, a bunch of people. Thank you.
Thanks to everyone who joined us today. It was really, really cool to see that you just follow us, and it was interesting. I hope it was interesting for all of you.
Of course. For me, it was great, and for them, it seems like it was great too. So I'm gonna just put the closure. It's gonna be the video that our friend Pablo did of the mini tour that we did, and with that, we just finished the transmission. Okay. Thank you very much, Eugene. And
bye, everyone.
See you soon in December. Okay.
See you.
Just still running for accomplishment in this eternal marathon.